A lot of preamble. Dear Sandra Oh, thank you for existing and making art. You're my only reflection on the screen, with our flat faces and non-folded eyelids. You legitimize me. As far as I can see with these narrow eyes, you are the only Korean Canadian woman on the screen. Anyway, I get tired of being erased, you know? All these shows which are supposed to reflect real life, they leave us out. Or if we're in, we're the nerdy Asian or awkward Asian or like kung fu Asian. You know what it's like to always be cast as the comedic relief or the quirky best friends or the tertiary supporting role, a line in the credits appended at the bottom. Never stories where we are centered, never leading roles, always marginalized, you know. It's always just like white people stories, white people problems, white people heroes, and then racialized villains and racialized people needing to be saved by white people. Our white people. Most of my friends are white. Yeah, I love them. But, most of my friends are totally white. And then something else comes after that. Oh yeah, I have 2 Asian women friends who also hang around in downtown Kitchener. And people mistake us for each other all the time. I guess it's kind of funny. So I went to this folk music house show recently, and it was all white folks. And during a particularly appropriative song in the show where this old white guy with dreads was putting on a Jamaican accent and then singing a calypso-style song he wrote about relaxing, true story, the white people ate that shit up. I left to eat some snacks, and in the snack room, this old white guy turns to me and says, "I know you from the stage." And I did one of these. Oh? Miss Saigon, you were the engineer. You know that musical where Americans try to save Asians in Vietnam? Yeah, we all know how that went. You know, you really look like Sandra Oh. Oh, Sandra, you know I love you. But we both know, having had more than 10 Asian friends in our lives, that we don't look alike. What the hell am I supposed to fucking say to this shit, you know? Thank you. She's an incredible actress. Yeah, it's probably because we both don't have like the folded eyelids, you know? He corrects me. It's actually called the epicanthic fold. Thank you, white man. Just what I need more of. You educating me. You studying me and my exotic ass features. So Sandra, you said, and I quote, "I can't compare myself to a white girl. If I did, I'd probably die." I should stop doing that. I'm gonna try and unlearn these heavily ingrained social ideas that beauty is white, that neutral is white, and that talent is white. I'm gonna unlearn that shit and center myself. Lastly, Sandra, I just want to say I'm so excited that everybody's freaking out that you're leaving Grey's Anatomy at the end of this season. That's right. They better recognize that it's you who carries that show. You're the star, not the Mick Whiteys. Anyway, please write back and autograph this enclosed photo of you and send it back to me in the postage stamped envelope I've also included. Love you so much. XOXO, Janice. Thanks. So when I first went to Laurier, I was in Boot Cart Residence. You guys know Boot Cart Residence, okay? And Laurier's, like, it's pretty white, right? If you go down the street to University of Waterloo, it's more culturally diverse. But coming from growing up in Toronto, it was very jarring to be surrounded by all these people who just came from small towns, maybe never had an Asian friend in their life. And it was hilarious because on my floor, they actually, what I would call, they ghettoized all the Asians to one side of the hallway. So like all the 4 Asians in the entire hallway were just at the end. It was really, I mean, I don't know if anyone else noticed, but I sure did. And we'd watch Grey's Anatomy in the residence TV, back when it was like still like new and hot. And I always like talk about Sandra Oh and how much I loved her because she was the only Korean and Canadian woman like ever in the media. And it's like, oh man, you white people, what's with you and all your pillows, man? Why do white people have so many pillows? Just like talking to them, and they're like, oh my god, she called us white people. And like people were freaking out and so uncomfortable because they'd never had to talk about race before. So then I just stopped talking about the pillows. Anyway, that's it for me. Who's ready? Who's coming up next? Bethy?